just going to combine the last two questions because I think the last one's really important. And um, so, how has your perspective on mental health shifted? And then, what do you want other athletes, particularly young athletes, to know about mental health and competition and training? So I'll go through mine quickly. It would just be, I think my like perspective of mental health has shifted in that I don't think that it's like a weakness anymore. I think if anything that it will make you so much stronger. And each day I like work on this, I just feel like, this sounds really silly, but like I just feel how much power that I contain and that I can like push out into the world. Like I just feel it growing as I like work through these things. So I know it works, and I'm happy to do the work. And then like as far as other athletes or younger athletes, like I guess I it's hard to know when you have an issue. Like I couldn't even really tell you like how to identify it other than if you feel like something's not working, it probably isn't. And I guess maybe read a cognitive psychology book, or treat your mental health as like high importance as your physical health. And if you are dragging to get out the door, then maybe it's not just you're tired, maybe you have something else that you're working through, and things in your life are going to impact you whether you act like you can feel them or not. I was very similar with Erica. Like I just pushed everything aside and didn't feel it. I just decided not to feel it. And because of that, it's taken me a while to realize what I'm actually feeling because I've done it for so many years. So definitely feel your feelings, identify them, and like value them because they are important and they are going to be a reason why you're successful or you're not. Yeah. Go ahead, Katie.
Yeah, Jackie, when you said that about power, I just like lit up because I was thinking as everybody was talking, like, man, we like all of our stories and all of our ambition and what we've done in the past, even when personally, when my mental health wasn't as strong, like going forward, we just have so much power to make the kind of change that we want in ourselves and in, to help other people too. What I would want younger athletes to know is that they don't have to have all of the answers. They're young and don't have as many life experiences as other people. So it's okay to turn to somebody that they trust, to who also may not have the answers but can point them in a direction. It's okay to seek out those answers without knowing really what you're doing. Asking questions is the foundation of figuring it out. So ask your questions. They'll probably lead to more questions, and those will lead to answers. So don't give up if you are feeling stuck. And yeah, trust yourself. If you feel like something is off, it may just not be physical. There's a mental component too. And your mental standards are different than somebody else's. So just because you need some extra help in some areas of your mental health and somebody else doesn't, that's fine. You're both great athletes. So give yourself what you need, ask the questions, and just don't be afraid of the subject of mental health.
So true.
Agree so much. And just to piggyback on that, know what's good for you. And if what's good for you, just like you said, Katie, if it's not good for someone else, that's because they need something else. Don't let anyone try to convince you that what you're doing for you is wrong or abnormal or not the correct way. I know when I was competing during track, I would love to be like silent and to myself because I was meditating and doing stuff like that. But people would bug me all the time. Talk to us. Let's talk. But it would always break my focus and I couldn't even get it back. So know that what's for you is for you, and it's definitely okay. And know how powerful your mind is. Your mind is very, very powerful. And even an inkling of something off could change a component of your like goals or anything. So always strengthen your mind because your body will then follow. So always strengthen your mind in a positive way because it will definitely make a difference. Starting no matter how old you are, how young you are.
I think also we all need to be aware that it's also our responsibility to be good friends and teammates and, be that person being kind and reaching out and saying, hey, are you okay? Because I think that can be so powerful, and it's scary on from both perspectives. It's scary to take that leap and try to call your friend out when you think something's unhealthy. But I think what's so important for young people to know is that it is hella scary asking for help. And, it might take 2 or 3 therapists before you find the person that really clicks for you. And there's no one size fits all to therapy, or drug regimens or whatever works for you. There's no two people that are going to need the same regimen for battling mental health issues. But you have to just, if you're tough enough to put yourself through that hell and agony with your training, then you certainly are tough enough to ask those scary questions and walk through that door of a therapist to peel back those layers and get to the root cause.
So true.
I think that's a really good point about, shopping for the right therapist for you. I know I've heard people say that they feel bad switching therapists because, yeah, they know the therapist they tried, they know it doesn't work, but then they're afraid they're going to hurt their feelings if they say, your method doesn't work for me. And like, until you accept that, like, that's their job and they're not going to take that personally, they'll have somebody else come in and they'll help them, and things like that. You kind of got to put yourself first. And in a scary situation, like reaching out and looking at therapy for the first time, it can kind of be hard to put yourself first. And, it's not one size fits all, but I think one of the most important things that I want and hope younger up and coming athletes and people in reality know is that, your feelings are valid and they're important, and it doesn't make you any less of an athlete. You're a person first and you need to take care of yourself. And I don't think that happens nearly as much as it should.
Man, we could sit here all night. I think
Yeah.
this was such an incredible discussion. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yes.
Thank you all for sure. This was a great discussion and well deserved. I mean, it needs to be talked about for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think we definitely can come up with more questions on this topic because it is so vast. But thank you for taking an hour out of your evening to chat with us.